everyone. Welcome to the trade deadline episode of This Is Our Year for the New York Metropolitans. Dougie Fresh, how are you doing today?
Yo! What's up, man?
What's going on, my friend? How we doing?
Ooh, we are hanging in there. It's good to be here on a Tuesday night, July 30th. 2 hours past the deadline. Let me get some alcohol in my system because I may need it
What are you
with
drinking?
both what's coming up and what I've done. I have a little bit of social jet lag today. Um, I, as a Mets fan, am going to have my broccoli and like it. I don't know if if I've had this on the show, but other half makes some incredibly good beers that I cannot remember. I can't associate with other right now, but hey, this is another double IPA, which I need because I think I am on a bender. Let's do this. I'm kidding, mom and dad, but I have I did hide out on Sunday, but I've been out every night since like last Wednesday or Thursday. So, hello, Mike. How we doing?
Hello, Doug.
And
Sorry, I just had to fix the lighting in here.
no worries. And are you drinking, sir? And how's your mood? Where are
Uh,
we compared to 2022 post deadline?
so, so I am a few things. I'm not drinking because I just finished a bender on pretty much Saturday. And I had a couple of drinks on Sunday, but just with dinner. Yesterday and today, I'm trying
Yeah,
to my pants aren't fitting. It's summer.
yeah.
I've gone a month
Uh,
straight of like kind of partying since my anniversary, and I
you got to do it
am.
sometimes.
You do, and it's been a great summer out here. It's been 75 and sunny, perfect every day. Beautiful to get on the bike, go down to Huntington Beach downtown, grab a drink. The kid is just getting old enough to like sit in the back bike seat. So we're that family that like bikes down and parks the bikes and bar hops a little with the 1.5 year old. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's fun for us now and it works. And
No, that
yeah,
sounds lovely.
yeah,
Actually,
it's quite delightful. It's quite
especially
delightful.
the nice weather part. Although it's nice here, nice-ish. And yeah, man, we had family up from uh, like basically my whole family together in one place, which doesn't happen much this weekend. Sister and brother, who both live in Texas, came up, and my youngest sister brought her new kid over from the Hudson Valley, and we all met in Connecticut. So it was a legit meeting of the O'Keefes.
Nice.
I even got this vintage shirt out of it, or at least Jenny did. All the significant others got this shirt, so they can't escape now. They're part of the clan. But yeah, this is an old beer company from Canada. I don't know if they're still active, but we did find them or find a case a few years ago. They have changed their logo, obviously, but this is the one I remember from the '80s. And the one that Charlie Day wore in Always Sunny a bunch of times, if you're a fan of Always Sunny, which you should be. So, um, it's been a lot. I went to a concert last night. I went to Jenny's company party last week at this ridiculous mansion. It's been a week, man. I'm a little sleepy. So let's record two podcasts. Let's do this Tuesday night,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Doug and I have been asked to be guests on a Dynasty
Yeah,
pod after this. And we're
Trade Addicts,
super
check them out.
trade addicts. We're super excited to go on that show
Yep.
and chop it up. Chop it up. But we got a lot of non-fantasy football to talk about,
I know.
unfortunately.
You told me I had to study fantasy today. I'm like, it's deadline day,
It's
but
deadline day.
yeah,
So
that's
so
cool.
Doug, so
We're
Doug,
professionals.
let's go. Let's run down what happened first and foremost. Do you have that
Ugh.
list in front of you?
Yeah. So I like how Tacomo or whoever posted that tweet included like the stuff from last week. But let's take a recap. The Mets are done.
We
No last
should, but
minute
we didn't.
deals.
We didn't talk. No last minute deals, and we didn't talk about
We didn't
the
talk about
Winker
Jesse.
deal,
Nope.
the Stanek deal. So
Nope.
let's
Yeah,
get
no,
all
no,
this.
that's fair. And by the way, yeah, once again, we were going to record on Sunday. Sorry, I told everybody at that party that we didn't, but I hope you're watching now. Hello, and it was great to see you all. Yeah, man. So let's go back. Phil Maton, a few weeks ago, but he's
Yeah,
included in this tweet. That's a bad sign. All right, here's the total trade deadline haul, other than Maton. Let's skip ahead to Jesse Winker. Oh boy, we have a lot to say on him. But if you want the whole list right now, just get it over with. Jesse Winker,
four.
two.
let's talk
Oh,
about who
oh
for who.
God.
So
Okay. Yeah.
so
All right. So
Maton was for cash considerations.
all right. Let's do one at a time then. Winker, our boy. We have
Yes.
history with this dude going back at least 6 years, right? With that sliding catch
Yes.
against us when he was on the Reds, and he
Yes.
went
And the
like
wave.
this,
Yes.
and like ran away. And Mets fans were instantly enchanted by this fine young gentleman.
And then we went to the me and you went to the Mariners Mets game like 2 years ago, and he hit a home run and then
He
works
fucked
the
us up
crowd
there.
again. And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I fucking hate this guy. So I think we have something even more personal. Like everyone hates him, but it was like the one game I went to for the
Oh,
entire
I
year
know.
with you in City Field, and this guy
we,
fucking
and we
hits a
lost
home
to
run and
this.
waves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
lost
lost two
that
to one,
game
right? Because he hit a
to a
home run.
soft tossing lefty Marco Gonzalez, and also he hit that home run against Orza or whoever earlier, just a few weeks ago, actually, when we're like, oh, look at that, there
Yeah,
he
it
is
was
on
on the Fourth of
another
July
team killing
weekend,
us.
wearing
Yeah.
wearing the fucking like Uncle Sam outfit, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I fucking
Well,
hate this guy.
I don't. Okay, yeah. So we hated this dude. He was a heel, to use
He was a
wrestling
heel.
term.
Yeah.
Perfect heel, up there with going back to like Pat Burrell and obviously Chipper and everybody else. But now he's a
Chase
Met.
Utley.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And now he's a Met, and he's a fired up dude. Apparently in the best shape of his life, and is a better bat than anything they had right now, especially
Oh,
with
for
Marte
sure.
out.
It was an upgrade.
And you can argue.
It
I
was an
saw
upgrade
someone
for
make
sure.
this argument about, and let's spend all day talking about 22 versus 24 2 years ago. I saw someone already make the argument that we gave up less for him, and he's a better bat than both Vogelback and Tyler Naquin 2 years ago. Do you agree?
Yes. 100%.
And you can actually play him in the field. Now,
Yeah.
Tyler Stewart, I kind of liked, but Tyler Stewart still is just a fringe top 20 prospect. Probably tops out as a fifth starter or a long man. Maybe becomes a four, but he's had good numbers over the years. So like the scouts haven't liked him as much, but the numbers have been there for him. So hey, good for him. I hope he makes it. Not a
Yeah, and
huge
I
loss
think
though, in my opinion.
I agree. I think he'll probably end up being. I mean, if I'm prognosticating, he'll probably end up being a bullpen guy,
Yeah,
and I think that
start
is
here and there.
yes, maybe a long man, but maybe turns into a decent bullpen guy. But he'll be a bullpen arm that probably bounces around. He's got good height. I don't think he's a power arm for being
No,
this
his
young.
stuff isn't like rated great. He's like, that rating system. What is it, like 40 to 80? He's got a bunch of like 55s in there,
Right,
60s. Um,
right,
yeah.
cool.
So, and by the way, just to set the stage, that's the kind of prospects they're trading this year.
Yeah,
That's the overall theme, and that's why we're drinking the broccoli, because we might be disappointed. I am disappointed we didn't get Tanner Scott. I wanted Tanner Scott this year. Let's go. We'll get to that though. So, any more thoughts on Winker? I know he's
I
already
think
been
he was. I
contributing a
think he
bit.
was. All, I mean, our offense is top five in the National League, maybe in the entire all of baseball for the last couple months.
Oh, definitely last few months.
So I think you needed a guy that could play every day in right field, and being a lefty is perfect because we had between Gamble and Stewart, we had two guys that were underperforming as the lefty off the bench. So now this guy slides in, and when Marte comes back, he can now be the lefty off the bench, the guy that gives
Yep.
Martinez a blow on days against tough righties. He can give Marte against tough righties and play some right field, or he can play left and Nimmo can move over to center and give Bader a day off here and there. So
Yeah.
he can play the two corner outfield spots in DH. I think he's
And by the
fine.
way, he is I mean, he's not that great in the field. The range isn't great, but he has a very good arm, which is something you're missing with Marte not being out there.
Right. And I think he serves the purpose, and to give up a fringe, maybe
Yeah.
like bullpen arm in 2 years, it's fine. I don't think
I mean,
Tyler Stewart's going to anchor a rotation.
for perspective, this guy was a tier or two below, like, your Scotts, even your Tidwells,
Right.
and your Sproats. So, okay. Yeah, man. So decent move, right?
Sure. Works.
They
Solve the
were
need.
talking about getting a righty, that they never did. I think that's fine. I remember we were talking about Conforto last week. So that didn't happen, and so that's the only bat they got. Now, where do you want to start with this with these pitchers? You want to start with the starter?
The poo poo platter of pitchers we got
Yeah,
today.
here comes the poo poo platter.
Okay,
Now
well,
that
let's start with
we
Phil
know Phil
Maton, right?
Maton, he's
So
basically our eighth inning guy
yeah, and Stearns really liked him, and we
at
got
this
the
point.
Rays are in sell-off mode. The
Hmm.
Mets, it was a shrewd move to get ahead of the market and grab
Yes.
Maton for nothing and just say we'll pay his
Oh,
salary
those
for next
Rays
year.
do not like cutting any checks, do they? My God.
No, they don't. They don't. So great move. He's pitched well so far. Got
He's
no
given up
issues
one
with
run
him.
in like 7 games.
Yeah,
Perfect. We
perfect.
just need instability.
Right.
Um, Mr. Stearns has redone the entire bullpen in the last month.
Literally, our entire bullpen has gotten hurt, and
Yeah,
now
between injuries and people getting fired, though. Bye bye, Deke.
yep.
And but I had to look this up. Two guys have been here basically the whole year now in this bullpen, and I think both of them were hurt at some point. Do you know who they are?
I mean, are you counting Edwin Diaz?
Yeah, that's one. And he was
There you
what
go.
he missed like a month or two,
He missed like 2 weeks
a few weeks,
with the
and
suspension and 2 weeks with the injury, and then Ottavino's the other one.
yeah, automatic wine. I don't know if he got hurt or he's just he's been at the end of the bullpen. He lives for now, right? Hauser's gone. So anyway, Ryan Stanek comes in from the Rays as well, right?
So
No, I'm
Seattle,
sorry, Seattle, who's
yes,
weirdly adding and trading at the same time too. Love you, Jerry DePoto. Um,
right.
Comes in and like throws gasoline on the fire against the Braves. But I like him. He's a hard throwing righty. What do you think? Great
Yeah,
hair,
I mean
great flow.
that was his first game, and we were
Yeah,
getting the shit kicked out of us in that game anyway. So
yeah.
I'm not
No.
overly concerned with that. And what did we give up for Stanek? Some like Rylan Thomas, some
Oh yeah.
AAA
So Ryland
outfielder.
Thomas is like in like the 20s to 30s if you're ranking prospects that low if you want a decently interesting outfielder. But I mean, those guys are dime a dozen.
He had no power, and he was already
No.
like 24, 25 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe he serves as the fifth outfielder for the
Yeah, and like he'll
Mariners at
get
some point in time.
called up. People were talking about that he was like a fringe call up just when they needed a body. So I'm sure he'll get major league at bats. I
Sure,
wouldn't worry about him though. If you're a
I'm
Mets
not
fan,
worried
worried
about him.
about yeah.
No,
Okay. Anyway,
great to
yeah. So
see him.
Stanek, I thought he'd been around for longer. It seems like he's bounced around a lot of his career. I remember him as a Ray and a Astro, obviously.
Astro. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So
He's got a
postseason
lot of he's got a
experience.
lot of exactly a lot of postseason experience, and he's a
And he
flamethrower.
can just throw. Yeah, we need some more other than Edwin. Who else do we have at this point that can really turn it up? So yeah, man. Where do you want to go next? I guess today's big acquisition. You want to call it that?
Blackburn,
Pete
is that his
Paul
name?
Blackburn. Sorry, Pete
Paul
Blackburn.
Blackburn.
I was hoping we get Pete Fairbanks somehow. Anyway, Paul Blackburn out of Oakland, which is apparently a Major League Baseball team. I learned today. Still, I did not know that. And apparently he's been around the team since 2017. But he
Seven
still has
years.
control.
7 years. Yeah.
Yeah, he still has control next year
Yep.
and throws 6 pitches. One of them is a fastball, and knowing the Mets, they might be telling him not to throw the fastball anymore. So you're going to see a lot of junk from him, I think. But
Yeah. I
that
mean,
knocks McGill out of the at this point in the rotation. We haven't talked about Senga going down or Scott. My God, there's so much has happened, man.
so much has happened. It's been a crazy week. We were in first place in the wild card 3 days
For a
ago,
minute, yeah,
and then we fell down to like almost out of the wild card,
it's
down to
crazy,
two
man.
losses.
That, that
It's gonna be like
and the
that for the rest of the
Padres are
year.
going hard. The D-backs won't go away,
Yep.
and you got the Cardinals, Pirates hanging around,
Well,
Giants.
I think
Wow,
I think what the Mets signaled today was they realize their offense is good enough to compete with anyone, and if they can just
yeah,
stitch together a
piece together
bullpen
something.
that we have a chance because over the last the first half of the year, right, we've lost Drew Smith to Tommy John, who was pretty much our setup guy, right? we
Yeah,
lost we lost
one of them.
Brooks Raley, our
Who was a
left-hander,
setup guy. Yeah.
top lefty out of the bullpen, to Tommy John. Reed Garrett looks like he's about to get told he needs Tommy John, and
Yep.
he was our
Shocked
godsend
he
out of the
hasn't yet.
bullpen. Yeah. Then
Uh,
Deadniel
Dead Yo. I
Nunez
knew
just
it.
went down. He doesn't need Tommy John. They said
No,
his he should be back within 2 weeks. So
he's
we'll
on the
take
Sean
that.
Reed Foley plan, yeah. But
Yeah, and then we got Sean
uh,
Reed Foley, who has pitched like 3 innings this year because that guy can never stay healthy. But he'll be;
yeah,
those two will be a bump to the bullpen when they come back, and I think that's when Adam Ottavino is going to die, his Mets career. But then we
yeah,
also
he's
so
hanging
then
by a thread.
we picked up
Brad's a bad
Peyton, who's going to
and
be
Zuber.
our eighth inning guy. Stanek will probably be the seventh inning guy, and then we got Blackburn, who's going to be the fifth starter now going forward, which his numbers look fine on a bad Oakland team. He looks like a
Yeah,
guy that's got a decent whip. He's not going to strike a
he
ton of
just
guys
came
out,
back from a foot injury, so
which is
hopefully that's
fine.
fine. But he was pitching well in a real shitty situation out there,
Yep,
um, and uh, and he keeps Buto in the bullpen, I think.
I agree. Which is also huge, right?
Yeah,
So they tried to stretch him out yesterday. They did stretch him out yesterday. Let him pitch 40 pitches and 3 inning. He got the 3 inning save yesterday and a
he's done that a
15 to
few
2
times now. But yeah,
ass
that's it.
whooping. But
Seems to be his.
he's been a weapon out of the pen. He's
Oh,
the
dude,
Seth
he's
Lugo
been.
now.
Oh, yeah, he is this year's Seth Lugo. I think Seth came up later in his rookie year, but my goodness, um, how could you ask for more from this guy? I guess he has to like. I guess they're keeping him as a multi-inning guy though. At this point, he's probably can't
Why would you
switch him
not?
into
He's
a
doing
high
so well.
leverage. Well, I mean, he's doing so well. You could high leverage him for 1 inning. I don't know if that'll mess with his routine though. He's always been a starter, right? So it's going to be interesting, man. And Buto's there, obviously. If if you're in the game, but your starter can only go four, which is his team's specialty, right? 4 or 5 innings. Yeah, I have a way better Via con Dios today, but man, Senga, I missed that game. I was out. I heard he was brilliant.
He
Did
was
you see the game?
brilliant. I did. He was brilliant. He struck out 9 and 5 1/3. Got a pop up and to get the first out of the fifth, sixth, and he just it's
Crumpled, right?
exactly how my wife tore her calf playing pickleball.
Oh,
It was just a short, he saw the ball
yeah,
was above him and he was just trying to get out of the way so Vientos or Pete could come in and catch it.
it's like a
And he
quick
pushed
acceleration.
off. He just had a
Yeah,
quick acceleration and he definitely tore his calf. And I think they said it was a grade two,
yeah.
which, I
It's the
mean,
year.
yeah, they already ruled him out for the year. He's on a 60
Yeah.
day DL.
At least
So
it's not a tendon, I guess. But those non-contacts, man. Oof.
yes, it'll be recovered by next year, and it's a
Yes.
wash of a year, which is unfortunate. But he looked great
Well,
otherwise.
he could
So
have had a great year and bounced too. So if you want to look at the silver
well,
lining, now
we
now we
need
have him for
him.
3 more years. I guess. I don't think he
He's
has any
probably
more outs.
can he still opt out
I
regardless, or was it based
I
on
know he had one this year.
but was it
Um,
based on anything, or can he still
yeah, and I think it was based on things. So
he had to hit a
uh,
certain amount of
yeah.
pitches or whatever?
Yeah,
So
I don't think he can opt out anymore. Yeah, like even if he wanted to go for that money again. Um,
okay,
what
okay.
was I going to say? So yeah,
So let's get
and of
back.
course
So
Christian Scott is done for the year, isn't he too? Right?
he's probably done for the year and probably needs
Yeah.
Tommy John. He's probably done for 2 years. So getting Blackburn
Oh,
and another year of
yeah.
control really helps for next year. So who did we give up for Blackburn? We gave up,
Was that the Cade Morris one? I'm
yeah,
getting
we
all
gave
these
up
mixed
Cade
up.
Morris. We
Third
gave up
round pick
Cade
last
Morris.
year.
Yep.
Decent
Some some
prospect,
upside.
but again, we have better.
So he was
And
so it's a theme in the Mets pitching. They draft a lot of guys that are relievers in college that they think they can stretch out to starters. And that was Cade
right.
Morris's thing out of Nevada. And he was successful for the last 2 years so far. He
No,
made it all
he's
the
yeah.
way. He made it all the way to Brooklyn, which is high A,
He was on the radar for sure.
yeah, top
Uh,
25 guy, but moving his
yep.
way up in the right direction. So that one may come back to bite us in a year or two. I'm not overly concerned about it. I think what
I'm
we're going to
not.
get out of Blackburn now, Cade Morris
Yeah.
isn't helping us for 2 more years. So if he turns out to be good and Blackburn gives us what we need him to give us for the next, you know, 24 months, it is what it is, right?
If Blackburn is at least on Peterson level, then it's worth it. I think. I
Agreed.
don't know what happens to McGill now. Obviously, he reared his head back up with all these injuries. He's out of the rotation again, I think, assuming that Blackburn's in. So now who do we have? We have Sevi, Q, Manea, and Peterson and Blackburn. That's who's left standing here on July 31st with like McGill, Buto, if needed.
So we got McGill,
Uh,
Buto right now. Well, let's go. Let's get to the bullpen because it's kind of fucking messy right now, and they haven't made
it's
all
real
the
messy.
corresponding moves yet because they don't have to till tomorrow.
Okay,
So until the guys report. So I don't
right.
know exactly who's going to get DFA'd or
They
sent
cut
down.
they cut Adcock.
They cut Adcock.
They
Yeah,
cut
they have to be.
Fuji earlier this year, or earlier this week, right?
Yep.
They traded
Hauser
Josh
Fuji.
Walker,
He got traded today for a minor league guy.
and I think there was one more.
Hauser, Fuji, Diekman,
Oh yeah,
and
Deeks.
Adcock.
I'm kind of
And
surprised, honestly. I know Deekman's been bad, but I'm kind of surprised they just cut bait. Um,
well,
oh,
look at
this leads me back to my question. So Edgar and Otto, who do you think is the guy with the third most appearances now that's still on the Mets? That's not hurt.
is it
Can,
Buto?
can you name him? No,
Is it
or
let's see.
bullpen innings, I should say.
Okay, third most bullpen innings that hasn't been hurt. That's still on the
Or
team.
that's not hurt right now and is still on the team and has not been fired.
So it's Diaz, it's Ottavino, and then is it? Hold on.
It's crazy, man. The baseball
Is
reference page is a mess right now for the
Is
Mets.
it Danny Young?
You got it with his like 17 innings.
Yeah. So
And we have
that's
the young twins, and those are our only lefties, unless I'm forgetting someone, right?
no. So we pulled up. So we traded somebody to the Dodgers a couple weeks ago for Matt
For Matt
Gage,
Gage. Yeah.
also a lefty. So he got called up today too.
Yes.
And
I think, yeah,
now
you're right. He's around, I think.
we have three lefties. I will say Alex Young has looked good in his
He
7 innings
has.
pitching, and he may be the guy that they're planning on relying on. And
Yeah.
between Gage and Young, Danny Young, I believe they have enough. I believe they both have options to go down.
And
So,
yeah, I think so. And Danny Boy has been better in his second stint lately.
and I don't think we need three lefties. So
No, but
let's
you
keep
need one
going.
good one, you think.
You
So
need
hopefully one
two.
of
You
them's
need
good.
two lefties,
Yeah.
right? So then we got Tyler Zuber from the Rays.
Yeah. So this is a guy I don't know.
I
He's
think
another righty, though.
he was pitching for the Long Island Ducks to begin the year,
Yeah.
and then he worked his way up to the
Or
Rays
last year, right?
last year, maybe. And I don't think
Yeah.
we gave up some guy Paul Gervais. I don't. He wasn't even in the top 30.
I was aware of him, but yeah, he's apparently tall, dorky reliever in Brooklyn, right? Or something like that.
No idea who he is. Couldn't find him
Yeah.
today when I was looking for him.
Okay.
So
No, yeah, that he's,
another
I wouldn't
guy
worry.
for another guy.
Yeah.
But I think Zuber is probably the guy that will replace what Adcock was like on the AAA fucking Express. I'm sure
Yeah.
he probably has some based on his time. It looks like he has some options left, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
And then we got
It's completely new bullpen.
so who's the guy we got from the Marlins? That's the last minute deal. That's the last deal I saw.
Yeah, so Brazoban is a guy who has been up for this is his third year now. It took him 10 years to break through. He's been in professional ball since 2011, but he's got good numbers and he's got some stuff. And I
He
could
has
see him in a higher leverage situation. I could see
so
that
they
this being a sneaky good move here.
so 13 consecutive scoreless innings he's thrown. He's got the longest reliever
Yeah.
scoreless inning streak right now in the National League. I heard it might be all
Oh, does he?
So, and we gave
Oh,
up
nice.
Wilmer Lara. I don't
Yeah.
know who. Again,
Who's
he was in the top
it's been
30.
3 or 4 years. He's not over a ball.
Okay,
So
and he's like a young kind of.
international free agent guy,
Is
kind
he
of.
a shortstop or is he like going to be like
And yeah,
projected
middle
big
infielder,
utility
second or
guy?
short.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't not worried about that either.
No. So contrast that with what the Padres have done. They cleared out their prospects this year again. AJ Preller, right? He's the GM. He's like they're like the Rams of baseball, right? They just fucking go for it.
Fuck a draft pick.
Yeah, fuck yeah, fuck them picks. And well, I hate it because right, they'd won 7 in a row going into when we were supposed to do the show. I forget what they've done the last couple of days, but they have charged into the wild card race here. Um, are you upset that the Mets didn't do that?
Well, what were we? What else were we gonna do? Like who else? What I saw Jack Flaherty went to
Yeah, Flaherty
the
got traded.
Dodgers. He
Yeah,
went to the Dodgers. What did the Dodgers give up?
I don't know. It's
Right.
been a day.
So let's
I
take a
I'd
look at
hope it's
that.
a lot. I
What did
heard
they give up?
I was told all week that it was a seller's market.
Yes, and I think that Stearns did a good. So they got Jack Flaherty for Theron Liranzo and Trey Sweeney. I don't know who those guys are,
No, I can't
but
talk to you about any prospects that aren't Mets, but
yeah, but I'm
um,
sure that they are better prospects than what we gave up. We didn't touch
like
any. Go ahead.
go ahead. I was just gonna say for Tanner Scott, it would have been something like Jet, and then like two other top 10 guys like Parada, or maybe not Parada, but you know what I mean, like Jet and like Tidwell and something like that. Probably too much,
I,
right?
I don't. Where we're at right now,
Yeah,
our offense is already good enough. So to overpay for a bullpen arm, and I
he's good
actually
though.
saw
A lefty power closer,
that's
kind of fit.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
But I think when you do something like that, you move a guy from his closer role to now. What's he going to do? Set up for Edwin,
eighth
and
inning. Yeah,
then is he going to be happy about that? Is Edwin going to be happy about that? Who or do you put Edwin in the eighth inning? Like I don't know,
it's
man.
tricky.
Like right. So I'm not saying that you don't want to add the talent to your team. You want to add the talent to your team, of course. But do you want to pay the price? And I think the year that we've had, we're ahead of schedule. Our offenses start. We started off really bad. We're ahead of schedule now in terms of like where the offense is. The pitching is kind of like this in between slot, and we've got a bunch of pending free agents. So we could have done what the Rays did, and we could have just sold off. I think that Mets fans would have rioted, and I don't think that's Steve Cohen's mo. And I think we
Oh yeah.
added some fringe for some guys that may turn out to be good pieces for some fringe guys. And let's see
A lot of
if
these
we
guys have control. Like
yeah if we fix
Brazivan and Blackburn are probably going to be here next year. I forget about Stanek is a free agent, I think, but Maton, forget.
Mason has another year on his contract.
That's sick.
That's why
Yeah,
we got to pick him up for what we got to pick him up for. Stanek, I think, is a free agent. Zuber, I think, has got control,
yeah. Zuber's got
and
control. Brazivan definitely does.
so does Blackburn,
Yeah,
and
I
Winker's a free
think
agent.
Winker.
So
Yeah, Winker's
yeah,
whatever.
so we
But
got some guys that are gonna play into 2025 as well, but we're
so
playing
this
for
isn't 22.
2024. No, I'm
You're
not upset. I'm not
you're
upset.
not
I
upset,
didn't. If we had gone out and gotten Blake Snell, and we had just taken his salary for one of these mid-level prospects or two mid-level prospects,
right?
I would have said that's fine. But I didn't
Yeah.
want to pay these high rental prices
I mean,
because I don't.
I can't believe Texas didn't sell Max to us back.
I thought that was a done deal, but maybe Texas
Right?
is going for it. Look, they
No,
added. They
they
didn't
picked
really
up dudes
subtract.
today. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So maybe they said, "Fuck it, we're
going
gonna
for it.
get Degrom
I
back,
mean,
and maybe he."
they're getting what Degrom back too. Verlander. Shit, yeah, that rotation man, with those three, huh?
Well, Verlander's in Houston, I think, right?
Oh God, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of Jake and Max. Sorry.
Yep.
And
So
obviously, Houston isn't selling anymore. They might have a month ago. I know. I remember we were obsessed with getting Verlander back for a second, but
yes. So I,
nope.
I I'm content, Doug. I'm content with what we did. I think
Oh, I was hoping you'd
with
be screaming tonight.
no
But keep
man.
me awake.
I think everything that we did was totally fine. I don't think it was like earth shattering. I like this
No.
Blackburn pickup. I think it was kind of what we needed. Like we don't need. It would have been nice to get an ace, and if we could have gotten Snell for cheap, fine. But then we'd still have to deal with him next year for $30 million, and I don't know I don't know. Do we want to pay 30 million? I don't
Yeah,
care.
that's a lot. It's like we were talking about Clay Bellinger or what's his name, Bellinger,
Cody Bellinger.
last week, and Cody Clay was his dad. Yeah, that's like 3 years of 30 mil. So I respect that from that regard, but then again, we haven't won since '86.
I think I think what we did was fine. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think what Stearns saw is like we're right in the thick of the wild card race. We're probably not catching the Phils, and we're gonna battle it.
that would be so sweet though.
It would, but
I want my 2007 payback.
they've been playing really good, but we're probably not catching the
Now
Phils.
Phil's not lately.
No, they haven't been playing well, but they still had such a big lead, and
Yeah, they
even if
got
they
off to a
played
ridiculous start.
even if they
What
played
do you think about
500.
Atlanta?
They made a couple moves, right? They picked up Soler last night
Uh huh.
and Luke Jackson, and
I don't like Soler at all. Wow.
no, I don't like that either. But I think if they all start hitting again, they're a good team. Their pitching is okay. We'll see what happens with that Lopez, right? He was the guy that came out in the third inning. I don't know if he's
Yeah,
hurt.
I mean they're just ravaged, right, with the injuries. Their
So
Freed is down too now, and yeah, with Lopez out, and Lopez, I didn't realize how good of a year he was having till I watched him on what was that Sunday,
yes,
and he kind of muzzled us.
for
Yeah,
3 innings.
yeah, well, yeah. It was a downer losing both those last two games against the Braves,
It was.
but
We were
I
on
think we
such a
still made a
high.
statement. Yeah. And a good rebound last night. I checked the score going into the show. It was 1-0 Twins. I'm like, whatever. End of the show, I look back. I'm like, huh?
Yeah,
And I missed the Friday game where the grand slams and all the home runs too. I've been
that was
missing
a
all the
fun game.
parties.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched the Friday game. I'm back to like watching games when I
nice.
can. I watched the Friday game, and that was awesome. A couple of just the home
Hmm.
run after home run after home run, and then last night's game was cool. Last night they did it with like a lot of doubles, a lot of singles and doubles, and
Yeah, no, just one home run, right? That's
just one home run.
it's
Yeah,
kind of tough to do.
yeah.
Um,
So the
nice.
only thing I'm worried about right now is Alvarez has got a bum shoulder. Hopefully that heals after a couple days, and
Yeah.
hopefully Marte comes back soon and can, you know, just fortify the lineup and be a little bit better than he was. So
I mean, a good thing we have that backup catcher now that we were missing for about 30 years. So,
yes,
um, except
Charlie
that one weird
O'Brien.
year when we had Hunley and Piazza for like half a year.
Yes, and then we traded
Mm.
Hunley to the Dodgers, and then he became their
That was a good deal. I
didn't
think we got
didn't he?
Benitez out of that.
Yeah, didn't he?
Although
Didn't, I think we got no. I think we
we
got
got Cedeno out of the Dodgers, I
yeah,
know.
Daniel. Yeah,
Oh no,
Benitez came from the
I'm s-
Orioles.
I'm such a nerd. Yeah, you know what happened? We got Charles Johnson and Cedeno for Hunley, and we flipped Johnson to Baltimore for Benitez. I think
There you go. And then Benitez broke our hearts in Game One of the 2001 World Series.
2000.
2000, sorry, 2000 World Series.
Hmm.
Ugh.
I mean, all our closers do that. Billy let us down in '06. Sure, John Franco would have if he had the chance.
Yes, he just let us down in the regular season quite often. So
Actually, I'll never forget Franco getting Bonds looking on some like junk to end up one of those playoff games in 2000
dude,
in San Francisco. That was, or maybe that was in Shea. I forget, but
he like what
he
at
had
the
his
end of his
moments.
career, he was just the biggest junk ball lefty
Oh
fucking
yeah.
closer. He just threw garbage and like he just knew how to get people
Change
out.
ups and screwballs. That's like all he's down to. It's
That's
great.
all he could do. Yeah,
Mhm.
79-mile-an-hour changeups and screwballs.
Yep.
That was crazy. So, how do you feel about it, Doug? How are you feeling about today's
I'm
game?
I promise I'll have feelings. I'm kind of like you. I'm not going to manufacture rage here. Um, and it's good to see them winning 2-0 tonight. Uh, Looking at the starting pitching though, like trying to imagine a playoff series, it's like, wow, we better hit right. like who are we trusting for game two? Yeah, I guess Sevy, who hasn't pitched this many innings in a long time, is our game one starter. So good luck, boys. Someone's going to step up though, and I do believe, famous last words, that we're going to like these bullpen additions, as
Yeah, I
crazy
mean,
as those can be.
I think that I can't imagine all these guys coming here and all sucking, right? Like
Yeah,
Maton's been okay so far.
he's been great.
Stanek doesn't have anything under his belt yet, and the rest of these guys, they just went from like non-pennant race teams to a
Yeah,
pennant race, right? And now our bullpen is completely redone in the course of 2 weeks. Think about that,
yep.
Doug. Like you
I know
have you
it's
have
wild.
you just released Diekman this morning, right? So we have what, like a completely new bullpen besides Diaz and Ottavino from the start of the year.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. That's
they'll probably send Danny Young down, and they'll probably roll with Buto. They'll probably send McGill down. They'll roll with Buto, Edwin Diaz, Ottavino.
yeah,
I don't know if this Zuber guy is going to be in the pin, but the
right.
last guy, the guy we got from the Marlins, and
So you got
Stanek,
Stanek, Young,
right?
Alex Young,
Alex
Maton,
Young, right? And
and
then
then
you got one
Buto,
more.
Ottavino,
Maybe you
Diaz,
keep Gage,
Brazovan.
right?
Yeah,
Probably
then
keep
maybe
Gage
keep
as the two
Gage.
lefties, and there's seven
But
guys
yeah,
right there. Are you going to keep an eighth guy? Maybe you keep an
no.
eighth guy and that
Well,
Zuber.
you got options because as as you mentioned, Reed Foley and Nunez are probably coming back. I mean, they're claiming Garrett's going to come back. I'm kind of with
No way,
you. It's like
no way.
that guy
That's
was like going 110% for
right.
4 months and
He
just
threw
broke.
his arm out. He threw his
Yeah.
fucking arm out, but it's unfortunate. He was doing well, but I think yeah, Reed Foley and Nunez between one of them will take a spot, and
But
that
you're right.
bullpen's
Like Jorge Lopez, Jake Diekman, my God, Brooks Raley, Michael Tonkin. I'm just looking at the Tyler J, Cole Sulzer, Ty Adcock, Eric Orza, Matt Festa, Josh Walker, Grant Hartwig. Some
right.
names, man. Adrian Hauser, yuck.
Yuck, yuck, yuck,
It's
yuck.
been a year, but somehow this is a winning baseball team. And yeah, it's all the lineup.
And
And
we
if you're a
had
Mets
the
fan,
worst fucking May ever. Imagine if we
I
didn't
know,
have a
right?
terrible May, where we would actually be.
Oh, we always do that too. It's always 1 month.
Yep.
That's baseball season. Yeah. So no, I'm excited. I need to take a peek at the upcoming schedule. I don't know what August has in store for us. I'm guessing it's harder than July was. This team's got a puncher's chance. I like it.
Yeah, they're heading out here actually after this series, and I'll be going to the
Anaheim,
game on Friday night. Yeah,
nice. We should beat up on
yeah,
them, right?
yeah. They're terrible. Nobody cares about the Angels, so hopefully we win. Hopefully we sweep them and take them
But
out.
yeah,
And that
like
would,
you're right. Like back at the end of May, we weren't going to have anything to talk about for a few months. I probably wasn't even going to put up this sign anymore. But look at you. You got your Mets gear on. I
I have
think you
yeah,
had quit watching them. Everybody
I
was
did.
just like, fuck them. They're
I
a bunch of
quit watching
losers.
them. I was
Yeah.
not going to spend another year wasting my time. That's when you start losing like that, I mail it in. I'm not signing up until you guys start winning again. I got too much other shit going on. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's a lot of people. So, hey, the bandwagon's back for now. Hopefully we can make some memories this year. It's needed. And it's going to get us through to football, which hell yeah. So,
so speaking of football,
yeah, that was a good
what
40
what you,
minutes on the Mets for once. We didn't even get weird at the beginning. So,
no,
good
we can
job,
get
team.
weird now if you'd like.
Sure. Got some time to kill. No, but
Well,
go ahead. The
let's
football.
talk about real quick the New York Football Giants.
Okay.
Do you have anything like have you been paying attention to camp at all for them?
No, I saw the first three Hard Knocks, and I think there's 4 or 5 out now. I'm guessing, and that's all I have to say. What do I know? Is anybody hurt yet?
So is
Burns is there.
Eleanor hurt? Is Eleanor
Oh God, see, yeah, Illuminor. If he's already hurt, then we're gonna have a Giants type of year, aren't we? Talk to me.
But they signed Greg Van Roten today, who was once a Jet. He was not very good.
I
You
remember
got
that name. Yeah.
Evan Neal going into, you know, your other guard. You got
Yeah,
Runyon, and then
obviously, huge question mark. Well, no, Neil's supposed to be a tackle. Runyon and Illuminor is supposed to be the guards, with
okay.
obviously year two guy Schmitz at center. That's the master plan, or that was a few months ago. Um,
So
yeah,
how do
so
you feel? So how do you feel about the fact that Daniel Jones has looked very, very bad in camp so far, like missing open guys? Do you think that they're just going to give Drew Lock the ball and let him go, or do you think they're going to try and get something out of Jones?
I think Jones will have a quick hook this year. To answer your question, because I think they do see Drew Lock as a starter ready guy. Maybe not the franchise guy, obviously, but I think they got him. I know the show is trying to make it out that they wanted Tyrod back, but I don't like. I know you guys signed him instead, but like Tyrod's a backup. I don't think you can like plan to have a successful season because he gets hurt too. Drew Lock's a guy who's like a fringe starter in this league, so you can at least throw him out there, right? Um,
I
it
mean, I
is.
think
This is not a good situation either way, though. I'm not excited
no, but
about either of
we
them.
knew
Yeah,
this. We knew this going
right.
in, right? Like you guys, you had to. We This was a big point of contention for me. Like 2 years ago when he became a free agent, what do? Because you're gonna have to pay him a big contract,
I know, and so
and
he had his one great run before it. Of course, it was an
right,
easy decision. Then it was a hard decision. Now it's an easy decision again. And after this year, they can get out of that contract fairly easily without too much
right.
dead cap.
So do you think that they're going to
Yeah, I could see it.
do a cut and draft like first round pick? They're gonna just make sure they get a quarterback, and they'll draft a quarterback and cut Daniel Jones.
I don't want to play that game because like first of all it's like late July, right? But
Right.
but like tanking for a pick to pick a quarterback is a very very dicey strategy to begin with, in my opinion. You have to have like
I
a
think
lot
that's
of
what they're. I think that's what they're doing, man. I mean, I think rolling it back with
I don't know because
Jones.
like they made they've improved both lines, right? A lot, at least on paper. And are you doing that if you're trying to tank? I mean, maybe,
Uh,
but it's so that your Caleb Williams 2 next year is going to come in and have lines, but like I don't know. Like there's others again, I know it's not great to talk about like Kirk Cousin type moves or Russell Wilson type moves, but there are other ways to get quarterbacks in this league than the draft.
yeah, Kirk Cousins
Um
is probably going to be available again next year.
Dak, yeah, all these idiots. Actually, they're
Oh
probably
my
going to
god,
sign Dak, aren't they?
they have to
But yeah,
sign Dak.
yeah. But you know what do? They give the ball to Trey Lance. I
No
wouldn't.
way. No, Trey Lance was a flyer. Trey Lance was exactly what the Broncos did with Zach Wilson. Like
Right.
maybe we get him in here, we see what he can do. Maybe we can make some adjustments. But
Yeah.
they both stink, and so does Daniel Jones.
And
And I
so
think
does Cooper Rush, probably. By the way, I don't want to forget Cooper.
oh yeah, and I think the Giants, the Dallas Cowboys are just they're in a place where the Jets are probably going to be in a year or two when they have a bunch of big young guys coming off their rookie contracts that are going to want to get paid.
Yeah.
So
I
they
mean,
got
Lamb's already dealing with that, right? They're already dealing with CD
Lamb,
and
and
Dak.
then you got fucking Dak, and then you got
Is Parsons paid?
Parsons. No,
Is
so
he?
you got to pay
He's
all
not
three
paid.
of them.
Oh yeah, they're screwed.
No, yeah, so you got to figure out how to pay all three of them, and still maintain a team, right? And the problem is Dak is upwards of like 50 million already.
Yeah,
CD wants 30 plus million, and Micah's going to
and
want
he
30
deserves
plus
it.
million.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, all three of these guys deserve it, but well, maybe not Dak, but the other two guys deserve it.
Hmm.
So how and I'm not shitting on Dak, he's just quarterback prices are like
It's
astronomical at this
out
point.
of control. Yeah,
But you got to do it, man.
you got it. You got to
And
play the game.
every contract resets the fucking market, right? Like look at this past week, Tua got his deal, and
Hmm.
then 30 seconds later, like literally same day, 3 hours
Jordan
later,
Love.
Jordan Love tops his deal, right?
Yeah.
So it's like every contract is a new top contract for quarterbacks, right? And they're not even
Well,
good.
Jordan Love's a good example. He did people think he was going to be that good?
No, I think he's better than Tua though, and I think the contract Tua got was like Tua's okay. He's not the best
Tua's an
high.
injury risk to me. He'll always be.
Right.
Um,
So I don't know. They got and
but
the Packers got one cheap year out of Jordan Love, and then they had to pay him,
right.
and now he's the highest paid quarterback until the next guy.
Well, those assholes hit on every draft pick. So they're blessed up there. And honestly, the Cowboys got real lucky with Dak. He was a fourth rounder, I believe, and came in his rookie year, right when Romo like broke. Yeah, I mean, are you hoping for that as a Giants fan? It's one of the, it's a way out, but I don't know, man. Um, and honestly, like, are we ready to? Are we really going to tank? I guess we are.
I
You
just don't
can,
see. I don't see like again. This goes back to,
yeah.
and I don't want to revisit like the whole Neighbors versus McCarthy debate. But if you didn't believe in McCarthy, fine. But if you did,
I
you
think
had
it's
to make that
arbitrary.
pick.
Like the Giants weren't. I think that's one thing that happened in the Hard Rock Knocks episode I haven't watched yet is that they were talking about trade downs, and I don't think McCarthy was even in the conversation or trade ups. I'm sorry.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
I don't know, but yeah, it's a fair point. But Jesus, you had to solve a lot of problems on the Giants roster, and I think Neighbors was one of the biggest holes, if not the biggest.
Fair
Um,
enough. Fair
I
enough. We
don't
don't need to
know, but yeah,
revisit that whole
it's not
argument.
inspiring. Like as a Giants fan, like getting psyched about another Daniel Jones season. No,
Right. No.
like
Fuck no. Fuck no.
no. Hopefully, it's like the '85 Bears out there, but we kind of have a young secondary too, and yeah, this team's still a year or two away. The thing is, though, they're making like Burns. You want to be successful in the next couple of years if you're making that trade or bringing Burns in. I mean, otherwise, you're kind of wasting it. And that line, my God, with Lawrence and Thibodeau and Ojolari in the wings, that's a good front. It's a
That is a
real
good
good
front.
front.
It's a good front. That's a good front. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
It's training camp. There's hope springs
Y-
eternal.
Yeah, like you hope Wandale and maybe one of the running backs breaks out. You hope that Banks is like the real deal at the corner. And then, other than Neighbors, you hope some of these other picks they made immediately impact. And that's the great thing about the NFL, right? It's like just once you're on the field, you're on the field, and you can be a star.
Yes.
There's no waiting for these guys, um, especially a wide receiver. I expect Neighbors to be a weapon immediately.
Oh yeah. He's. I think it'll be good if he can get the ball to him.
Oh,
Right.
Ryan Stanek's in the game.
Ryan Stanek, top of the eighth. Let's see. Let's see if
Is
we
it
can.
the eighth already? Man, this
Yeah.
game's flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-0 Mets. Stop.
Mania threw 7 innings. I got it up. I got it here on my updates on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I get the
Nice.
MLB updates. Kind of nice when I
You don't
can
have a
actually
screen in
watch
your
it.
recording room here.
I
Got
have
the
it, but
game
it's
right
on the
here.
other side of the.
Uh,
So this is my office area, and then my gym's over here, and I got the TV in the gym, and that's where I go
oh
watch my
yeah,
games.
that's where you
That's it.
need the
I
TV.
actually have Dan's old chair from his room, and that's where I sit in
No
Dan's chair,
shit.
and I
That
watch.
came all the way out to California. No shit.
That thing has gone to Long Island, to California,
Oh
every apartment
wow.
I've had since. That's like the one thing I just kept this chair, and I sit in it when I come out here and I watch sports,
That thing's
and
got
it's
Clancy pieces in it. That
fancy
thing's got
urine on it. It's got
Jasper
Harvey.
pieces on it. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Oh
It's got a
god,
bunch of
that
cigarettes.
was not good. I think Ryan
No.
Stanek's hurt, and that was a really goofy ass play.
Oh, great. Awesome. Well, good thing we got seven other relief pitchers today.
I think he's all right. He looks like
He looks like DeGrom when DeGrom first came up.
yeah, kind of. He's got the what?
Kenny Powers
Degrom never
mullet.
had the beard though, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
got the. It's worse though. It's like Leonard Skinner roadie hair.
Yes. Yes.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know if you're just seeing. Do you have the actual game on or just the score?
No. No. No.
Oh yeah, he got at least 2 feet of air there, Ryan Stanek. He's a graceful human being,
I love
and
it.
yeah, what?
I
But
love it.
it was Pete's fault. He tossed a. They should have gotten the out at first, and Pete made a bad throw.
Oh, come on.
And
Can
now
we
they're
just
all checking him out. But yeah, he landed awkwardly on the bag and fell down. So Stanek, vaya con Dios.
Well, Dougie, let's
Oh
wrap this
no,
one a
Pete
little
threw his
early
glove.
today.
Are we?
Let's
All
wrap
right.
this let's wrap this a little early today because we got the other thing coming up here, and I am
Yeah.
starving and need to get some
Oh,
food
okay.
in me.
All right.
So
Well, I better get
who's your who's
drunker.
your who's your
No, I'm
who's your
kidding.
Via con Diaz?
I love this guy. Speaking of fantasy football, and I know we bugged out with Kendrick Drake last week, but this guy was a way one of my favorite fantasy players of all time, and a legend, and one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite players of all time, and that is Mr. Randall Cobb, who started the league in 2012, I believe, and just announced his retirement. Via con Dios to the last player still active on a team that I won a championship with. Oh yes, I'm roasting myself. That's how long it's been. I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm not checking that one, but yeah. But
I
yeah,
love
Randall
it.
Cobb, man, fucking great player, underrated, maybe
Via
not a
con
Hall of
Diaz.
Famer, but one of my favorites in the
Sorry your
slot.
house burned down.
Yeah.
All right. Audience, it's been
All right,
real,
guys.
and jump over to the other
The
show
trade
again.
addicts.
Trade Addicts.
Trade addicts.
We'll see
Fantasy
you in like
football.
half an hour.
We'll get weird next week.